Okay, today I'm going to show you how to cite in APA format, both in a paper and in your discussions. So here we go. I want you, when you cite in all your classes, to use citefast.com. So what you're going to do is, every single time you want to cite, go to www.citefast.com. And what a good thing is probably to save it as a favorite, because this is the easiest website to use. Most of the time, a lot of the students, they'll search by web pages online, and that's the most common. So that's where all the information is found. So the APA format is most commonly used. So click on APA, and then here's your web page. Now, URL is the web page that you use to cite. So just say that today, we are going to, let me get rid of this one, sorry. No, we're not going to use that one yet. We're going to cite a page from ICDC today first. So just say today you got something from the ICDC website and you use something on HIPAA today. Okay, so what you want to do is you go up to the top of the page and you copy the top of the page that you got something from ICDC. Okay, then you scroll down and you click paste. Okay, because that's where you got it. And then the author of the page is ICDC, all in capital letters, because that's where you got it. You don't have to put a date or anything else. And then you hit add citation. Okay, so now I know that you got all this information from ICDC. And then you hit copy paste, and then there is your whole reference right there. And then I'll do it again so you can see, because I did it kind of fast. So what you're going to do is you go to the top of the website at ICDC. So just say you got it at, this is about HIPAA. You go to the top of the web page. Sorry. Right here. You got it at their whole web page right here. You copied it. You went into CiteFast. You pasted it into this URL. You clicked this hourglass symbol, and it generated your citation to the right, and then you copied and pasted it. This right here is the reference that you're going to put into Moodle. So what you'd do is you'd copy it and click copy, and then you'd paste it into your discussion questions. This is the only thing that you put into the discussion questions. So if you're going to put it into a discussion, the only way you can paste into Moodle if you're using a regular PC and not a Mac is Control V on your keyboard. So what you do is you'd go down into, just say, into your Moodle, we'll pretend this is Moodle, and you're going to hit Control V on your keyboard, and it's probably going to look something like, you could always center this if you wanted to, like this. Okay? If you're doing it into a paper, it should look something like this. Except this needs to be up more. If you're, that's just one example right here. Okay, now just say that you're putting it in a paper now. Okay, so let's go back. So in a paper, this is your cover page of an APA paper. So on an APA paper, you have a cover page, you have a body page, and then you also have a reference page at the very end. Let me get rid of this and put this down. Your reference page should look like this. You don't need this to be, you could have it black. Okay, and we can get rid of this. Now, if you're using, if you have a reference page, which every paper needs to have a reference page, you have to have in-text citations within your paper. That means in your paper, you need something to link your references to. So if I used this within my paper, I need something to link it. So that's what in-text citations are. So you'd click in-text, and then this is the in-text citation, icdc.n.d, that means no date. You'd copy it and put that wherever you used that in your paper. So we'll just pretend that I used HIPAA right here. HIPAA's information right here. And that's the end of a sentence, so that's why you put the period there. So then I'd have to put my references also at the end of the paper, because that means I used that there. Okay, so we'll just keep going on. So now just say that I also used additional information in my paper from a web page. And So now we'll just say I use this in my paper. So now this is another information. So now I'd copy the URL, go back, I used a web page, click paste, hit this. You have to put it, you don't have to, but you should put an author in there. If there's no author, see how there's no author right here? Then you could put the name of the organization, which is Wikipedia. The more specific you get, the better off. If there's a published date, you could put it. If there isn't, you don't have to. Then hit add citation, and it goes to the right. I need to get rid of one of these because it's just a repeat. Then I just copy paste, and if you used both of these references in your discussion, you just copy both of them and paste them into your references in your discussion. And then this would be your reference page on your paper if you used both. But just say now I used also Wikipedia within my paper. Click in-text citation. This would be the in-text right here. So within my paper, I also used we'll just say that this whole thing is about the heart. And that's where I got my information from. And then would use Wikipedia right there. But on your reference page, I need to get rid of this. I'll just get rid of this, which is a whole separate page on its own. I used all this information on the reference page. So what you do is you copy it, you put this whole thing right here, and paste it. Make sure that you fix it at the end because sometimes it doesn't paste right. And what you want to do is double space it. Make sure that your references is centered. That the second line of every reference and the third is indented 5 spaces. Sometimes this is hard to do. I have a hard time doing it. And then see how you have the first line of every reference is left flushed, and then so that way you know which one is a new start of a new reference. So this is how it's supposed to look like. So what happens is you know that I got this information from HIPAA. This information from HIPAA links to this website right here. I mean this paragraph, sorry. This Wikipedia reference links to this paragraph, so everybody knows where you got the information from. That's why you need in-text citations. And then this Wikipedia is also where I got this information from in this paragraph. They need to know. It needs to link. That's why you use in-text citations. Okay, so, and that's why this is important. So, okay, also, just say, the last thing I need to show you is just say that you used a PDF online, which is very important. A lot of students get confused. If you use a PDF online, okay, I have an example of one somewhere around here, right here. I'm going to copy the PDF, okay. Right when I went to it, it shows PDF. And I can download it. It's manual versus automatic appointment scheduling. I'll go over here and I put the paste for the PDF that takes me to, and I hit this. See how down here it doesn't give me the hourglass to create it over here? That's because you need to either put a web page, an author, something. So look over here and see what it gives you. It doesn't give you, it gives you a title. So what I usually do is I just copy the title, go over here, put the title in here. It still didn't give me anything. So let's see if it gives you... Oh, okay. After I clicked on the title and then I moved it over a little bit, then it allowed me to add citation. So then it allowed you. So then if I wanted to do in-text citation on that one, so here is what it is on the... because there's no author, that's why it does these parentheses. So this would be the in-text citation that I'd put inside my paper. So I'd copy it. Go back to my paper. We'll just pretend this is the paragraph where I used the in-text citation. We'll just pretend this whole paragraph right here is where I used everything about scheduling. Now remember, in order for it not to be plagiarized, you have to put the whole thing in your own words. If you don't put some of it in your own words, you have to put parentheses around it. But in order for it not to be plagiarized, the whole thing needs to be in your own words, but it still needs to be cited with an in-text citation. So you'd put that in-text citation, a period at the end, because that's the end of the sentence, and then you'd go down here, and then see how it doesn't have my reference yet? I have to go back since you added a new reference, hit copy-paste, and see how it's in alphabetical order by how it's in alphabetical order. What I usually do is just take this whole thing out, because it has to be at the very top of the page, go back up here, recopy it, put it at the top of the page, paste it again. See how it didn't come out right? So the best thing to do, sometimes I do, is hit select all. If it doesn't come out right, the best thing to do is maybe export to Word over here. Go up here, and then maybe download the bibliography. Sometimes this works better. And then see how it came out perfect? So you could just copy it. Maybe it will go better on your Word document. See? And then it's perfect. Now, if you're actually going to remember again on your discussions, all you need to put on your discussions is this. Okay? Now, you only put one double space in between here, double space in between here. See how there's this big, huge gap right here? I think if you copy this whole thing and you go up here, right-click on it, paragraph, line spacing, don't add a paragraph, don't add space between paragraphs of the same style, and then double space it so that way it's all the same. And then just double space. It needs to be up one more, but I'll fix it later. Okay, so see how A, I, W, and it's all, the new one, it's all indented, all the new ones, all in alphabetical order. This is exactly how your reference page should be. Your body page is just like this. This should be at the very top of the page. This should be centered. This should only be a double space in between. Your cover page is just like this, numbered at the top. This is your whole APA paper with the in-text citations going down to your bibliography, your references. Don't change anything. Everything should be just like that. And then here is your Cite Fast. You can also create an account to save your stuff afterwards. And then one last thing. Over here, if you did a book, if you used your book, your medical assisting book, just type in Blessy. And then it gives you your whole medical assisting book. It's the top one. And then all you have to do is go down here and click Add Citation. And here's the medical assisting book that you used. It's all here. Now, you can create an account. It's free. Make sure you delete these afterwards when you start new ones. Remember, it's Control-V to paste into Moodle. And use only these ones to paste into your discussions right here, not the in-text. But you can, but you need both. If you do just the in-text, you'd need both. And good luck. And hopefully this was helpful.